The entire bloodline of House Dimitrescu is done in by the likes of you.
So first off, a little bit of apologies here if you hear me coughing. I do have, I think, a little bit of a cold or sinuses or whatever. Anyways, this is just going to be quick impressions of Resident Evil Village VR mode. So I've had this for a while now, but I've been wanting to do this video, and I just haven't had the time. But so what you're seeing is Resident Evil Village in VR using PSVR 2. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about the headset itself, and again, I'm not going to do the big review. I think the headset's great. Uh, Certainly a huge leap over the original. That thing was just a pain in the butt. The setup and everything. This is just literal plug and play, and the actual setup is pretty easy. So, along with this, I also have Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I also have Job Simulator. Unfortunately, I did not bother to pay attention to Job Simulator when I bought it because it requires room scale, and my room really isn't set up for that. But anyways, that's beside the point. So this is just so if you've already played Resident Evil Village, the VR mode is an entirely new experience. Everything is just it's the same game, but everything feels amped up because it's in your face. There's a sense of immersion that just wasn't there with the, I guess you want to call it the vanilla version, the 2D version. And VR really is a whole new spin. Now, there's a lot of ways to customize how you want to play this in VR. You can do it standing, you can do it sitting. I choose to do it sitting. I use the smooth turn. I'm not a big fan of the that choppy movement. I don't know if there's the cursor-based movement. I'm certain there is. This is the movement I prefer. I'm someone who gets motion sick really easily, but I don't know why. Resident Evil Village and what I've played of Horizon Call of the Mountain, I'm just fine. I haven't had any issues. I had issues with PSVR 1, but not PSVR 2. But yeah, this is really tense. So, for example, when you're faced off against enemies, you actually have to load the gun, eject the casing, and that is new. And so you tend to think and be a little more strategic with how you approach things. Um, where you see I'm at the game, I'm actually a little further, but not much further. So I know there's some tricky parts. I'm also playing this on the easiest difficulty level because you know what? I don't want to. I didn't. It was challenging on the normal level, so I thought I'd bump it down because again, this is a whole new experience. Lady Dimitrescu, as you saw in the beginning, is absolutely terrifying. Like it's one of those things you really have to experience it for yourself. Watching me do this doesn't do it justice. But yeah, it's amazing. PSVR 2 is awesome. Really expensive though. You're looking at $550 for just the base package and $600 if you get the uh, Call of the Mountain bundle, which of course is what I got. But not much really here to say. One thing I will say is uh, it would be cool if you had more interactivity with the stuff, like if I could pick up the dishes and stuff, but the game wasn't designed around that, so unfortunately you can't. So yeah, there's limited interactivity with the environment. Um, but yeah, it's Resident Evil in VR, and it's terrifying, and it's awesome. Yes, the moldy fruit. And yes, the baby is absolutely horrifying up close. I wasn't certain I was going to be able to do this part without dying, but I do. Spoiler alert: I do manage to get through it. Um, Not a lot I can really say. I mean, it's so awesome. I mean, again, it's clear that Capcom really put a lot of attention into the VR. We know that they have something planned for the upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake. Some have been reporting that it's the campaign, but Capcom themselves have not said anything. They just said VR content is in development. They haven't said what. So I don't, until Capcom says definitively that yes, you will be able to play the whole campaign, then I would just ignore what some of these websites are saying because there's been no confirmation. There's just VR content is in development. Uh, if you want to play Resident Evil 4 in VR, you got to play the original on the MetaQuest 2, which I've played and it's pretty good. But this is so much better. The fidelity is so much better, and it's so much scarier. Gosh, what else is there really to? It's not a whole lot I can really say, other than yeah, it's awesome. If you're willing to spend the money and you're curious about VR, it's a great experience so far. I'm really enjoying it. Anyways, I am going to leave you with this horrifying look at the probably one of the most disgusting babies in video games. And until next time, adios.